In the next 30 minutes of Business Live, Labour consultant kicks against proposals to review the retirement age of 60 years as government and employers split heads over decision.
I agree that governments must expand the economy to enable us to employ many more people. But when you are 60 and you have worked for about 25, 30 years, it's enough.
Also, second tranche of cocoa syndicated loan expected to hit Bank of Ghana's account next month.
Farmers, as soon as they sell their cocoa, they need their money. So availability of the fund would enable us to pay all farmers who deliver their cocoa to the buyers at the society level.
Managing Director of Stanbic Bank, Alassane Andane, set to retire after years of service. Stay tuned in, we'll be back with the details in a minute. I'm Julai, and the details now. Government and employers are having to split hairs over proposals to increase the retirement age from the current 60 years. The review is part of measures to deal with declining contributions to the SNIT pension scheme. But the Employment and Labour Relations Minister Ignatius Bafo believes the nation should be cautious about the move because it could impact negatively on employment.
Pensions. I appreciate it, and I want to encourage such more discourse on pensions. We are not perfect. We learn on daily basis. So you do one thing, people review it, and they come up with issues, and then you re-evaluate and then re-strategize to see how best you deal with it. And I'm happy that for the first time we've taken a bold step to be able to implement Act 766, which is the new pension regime, which is a deviation from the traditional pensions we know, that which was managed mainly by SNIT, where you take both your lump sum and your monthly pension allowances from one institution. This time, we have opened what we call occupational pension schemes, where businesses indicate whom they want to manage their second tier and third tier pensions, and therefore even as you go on retirement, you do not have to rely on SNIT for them to give you the bulk payment, but then you go to your occupational pension institution that has managed your funds, because you yourself manage it and then you ask them to supervise it for you. So if you invest well, you earn well. If you don't invest well, you don't earn well. Yes, so for me, it is the best.
The Chief Executive of the Ghana Employers Association, Alex Frimpong, however, says the current challenges facing the SNIT pension scheme justifies the review.
I think that discussion is long overdue, because all over the world there has been a significant discussion concerning the retiring age. And in Europe, for instance, I'm sure the minimum is about 65 and they are moving to even 68. So Ghana pegged their retiring age at 60 based upon certain assumptions regarding life expectancy. Times have changed. Life expectancy has improved. The health system has improved. Development has also changed the environment for doing business. So there will be the need for us to review the retiring age. You see, the discussion becomes more emotional, especially in the situation where you realize that many employees, many graduates are not getting employment, and they think that once you get to 60, you should give way to the others. It doesn't work like that. The fundamental problem has to do with the improvement of the national economy. Once the economy expands and grows, young, old, everybody will get a role to play. So for me, what is most important is that it is not about the age. Because if you look at the statistics of those who are leaving and those who are entering, I think they don't match. If about 20,000 people retire every year, you have more than 300,000 people entering the labor market. So I'm not sure that is the issue. The fundamental issue has to do with the expansion of the economy and the prospect of employment opportunities.
Meanwhile, Labour consultant Osingame has kicked against the proposal to review the retirement age. He believes instead government should rather focus on dealing with challenges associated with the pension scheme.
We want to push the retiring age merely on assumption, which is not totally complete, that life expectancy has improved in Ghana, and therefore there is room for people to stay longer on the job from 60 to about 65. I think I differ a little bit from that. We have an army of unemployed young people in this country, and if we do not take care to make room for them to be also employed, I think we will have a controversy on our hand that we cannot be able to handle. Go on retirement, the experience you have, if you have the creativity and skill on your hand, be able to do something on your own. At my age, 71, by next week or so, if not because I have a certain skill or experience to be able to do what I'm doing, I should be working so that the young people will not get work to do. It's not fair. So I think that, to be honest with you, and brutally frank with you, the spirit behind the pension scheme, the occupational pension scheme, the SNIT pension, and the third tier is to make room for people to have some reasonable amount of money to expand into something else themselves, and then we make room for our graduates to be employed, and other people who have skills and are not even graduates who can be employed should be employed.
Now, the second tranche of the cocoa syndicated loan is expected to hit the Bank of Ghana's account next month. But Joy Business understands the amount is about 650 million cedis, and this will bring the total amount of funds after the loan was signed last month to 1.3 billion cedis. Deputy Director in charge of operations at Cocoa Board, Dr. Emmanuel Opoku, says the funds will be released immediately to aid purchase for the next crop season.
Farmers, as soon as they sell their cocoa, they need their money. So availability of the fund would enable us to pay all farmers who deliver their cocoa to the buyers at the society level. Yeah.
And you believe that also it would help in achieving your targets, one would ask?
Yes, because, you know, well, right now, the way we've structured our pricing system and that of Cote d'Ivoire, there's not much for anyone to smuggle cocoa. But hitherto, without funds, people begin to take the advantage and sell cocoa to neighboring countries. So we need to make sure that, one, that we have funds to pay the farmers, because, you know, everybody wants to get paid for the service they provide, or just like you and I, at the end of the month, want to be paid. So the farmers also have to be paid for the work they do. So that is our priority, and that is why we want to make sure that the money is released straight away to the field to work.
But some will say that there's always an optimism and the reality. The reality on the ground is that you think that enough has been done, this money is coming in, would help you hit your target and hit that record target that we hit some time ago?
I wouldn't say enough has been done, because we are still rehabilitating the farms, the diseased farms. We have almost 40% of our entire landscape either diseased or moribund. Okay, so and we cannot do all at the same time. The money we got from AFDB, we are using about 230 million of that to rehabilitate the diseased and then the overaged farms.
The managing director of Stanbic Bank, Hassan Adani, is set to retire from the bank after years of dedicated service. This will now pave the way for a successor to be officially named by the bank in the coming days. There's more in the following report.
Joy Business is learning that Mr. Ndani is likely to move up and take up a new position in the bank, possibly as its board chair, or maybe the board chairman of a new holding company that could be created soon. This is, however, subject to securing the approval from the regulators and the board of the bank. Sources say a successor that has been approved by the board and cleared by the Bank of Ghana will be officially communicated to the public before the end of this month. For about a decade, Mr. Ndani served the Stanbic Bank as its managing director. He helped transform the bank, pushing it to be among the top banks in the country in terms of assets and branding. He was also elected as president of the Ghana Association of Bankers, a position that is currently occupying. For some, whoever is expected to take over may have some big shoes to fill, looking at the legacy of Mr. Ndani. Trained as an economist, his banking career started as SSB, now ST, moving to Barclays and now Stanbic Bank. He serves on some boards of institutions in the country and was recently ensconced as chief of Pushigu in the northern region.
The National Development Bank is set to take off from January next year. According to the Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, government has now been able to raise the required seed capital for the financial institution to fully begin operations. Mr. Ofori-Atta disclosed this at an employers' meeting in Accra, where he maintained that the government is fully committed to assisting businesses after the ease of COVID-19 restrictions.
Growth to rebound strongly from our revised projected growth rate of 0.9% for 2020 to approximately 2% this year. We anticipate a recovery in 2021 with a growth rate of over 5%. The growth is expected to remain robust in the medium term. Underlying inflationary pressures are also easing as headline inflation rates have begun to decline from 11.4% in July to 10.4% in September 2020. In the absence of unanticipated shocks, inflation should return to the medium-term target of 8 plus or minus 2% by early 2021. Fiscal consolidation has also been programmed to be faster to signal Ghana's strong fundamentals to the markets, given that we are a market access country. Our post-election commitment to fiscal restraint will promote a return to consolidation path nearer than envisaged.
MTN Ghana has signed an MOU with the National Folklore Board to facilitate the distribution of intellectual content. The MOU is to get the country's heritage culture into the digital distribution for the youth and the global society. Head of Sales at MTN Ghana, Eric Insako, said this opportunity is a great milestone for the development of the country.
So the partnership with the Folklore Board is, as Nanajo has explained to you, because they are the gatekeeper for all the heritage content in Ghana, whether it's stories, music, scientific works, like she explained, by the law. So what it means is that since we are a digital partner, a digital technology player, if we want to distribute or we want to support the distribution of our intellectual content work, this is one of the partnerships that has to be in place, because we approach our business as a community partnership, basically. So if the youth want to see heritage content and we provide telecommunication networks that connect them to the internet, then we have to help them to get the tools that access the kind of content that they want to see. Today, if they want to see content on YouTube or on Facebook or Instagram, they don't have that problem. There's a vehicle that can connect them. But if you want to see the Larabanga Mosque today, the best you can do is to look at a Google image of it. And how are you going to connect that with the full heritage story around it versus the fact that it is linked to our history and our other heritage sites? So you need an app that is purpose-built for that reason. And it is that we are facilitating with the framework. But the legal work is what we've done today, because you can't also just take content and start distributing it. There are consequences for that. So that's what we've taken care of with the MOU.
Meanwhile, the acting director of the National Folklore Board, Nanajwa Adobia Asante, says the signing of the MOU is the beginning of a great relationship between the two parties.
MOU is the beginning of a great relationship between MTN and the National Folklore Board. The National Folklore Board is a government institution that has been mandated to promote and protect our cultural heritage. One of our key agenda, or one of the key highlights or key things that we needed to do, was to ensure that we have an inventory of our folklore. And what better way than to have an inventory which is digitally accessible to all? So a partnership with MTN is a step in the right direction, and it will help us as a government institution to fulfill our mandate and our targets that has been set for us by the government. Well, we are always open to collaboration, and what it is the National Folklore Board was contacted by MTN. So on the part of MTN, that was such creativity and should I say the passion to promote our cultural heritage. So we are open to other forms of collaboration that do not conflict with the collaboration that we have with MTN.
Now, if the mini clinic of the JoyNews EcoBank Habitat Fair was good, then the main event promises to be even better. This year's event is themed Affordable Housing Beyond the Rhetoric, and it seeks to provide a one-stop shop for all housing needs. Out of the main event, which is slated for the 6th to the 8th of November, we engaged one of our partners, DBS Roofing, where Antonia Bosu is the head of sales.
What we have noticed is that people normally cut the wood before their maturity stage. So when they do that, people actually roof their buildings and then they come back to us and say, okay, I'm hearing cracking noise in my building. What is the problem? I want to take it off. Normally it's from the framework. What you put at the base will determine what you get at the end of the day. So as you are putting a wood that is not matured or a wood that has been fertilized to grow for them to cut, sometimes it doesn't even dry because you have to wait for the wood to dry first before you put it on the building. So if you do that, if you rush all those processes, it affects the finished product, that's the roofing sheet that you are having. So we are recommending the trusses for customers or everybody in Ghana because one, the wood doesn't need to sit to dry before it comes on your building. It's already durable, it's fire resistant, it's earthquake prone, it's affordable, and then it cuts to precision, so you don't get a lot of wastages. We actually import the product and then we do the manufacturing here.
What's the market like here in Ghana? What's the competition like?
We have a lot of competitors. We have a lot of roofing sheet companies coming up in there, but we always say that DBS is the best.
What makes you outstanding?
Okay, so for the outstanding, I'll tackle 3 major points. Normally, I'll look at our professionalism. Secondly, I'll look at our product that we are giving to you. And thirdly, I would like to touch on the finishing of our product. So what we do is that in terms of our professionalism, what we do is that you don't need to be here to get a quote. You just have to get our contact. You call us from the comfort of your office, your home, anywhere you find yourself. You call us, we will generate the estimate for you by coming to your site to take the measurement. Or you can also send us your drawing on WhatsApp because we do WhatsApp and emails a lot. So after sending us your drawing, we'll send the estimate after we have generated a quote for you. We send the estimate to you, you have a look at it. If you are ready to make payments, you can also call us for our bank details, which we can send to you through email or WhatsApp, and then you can pay at the bank, or you can decide to come here and make your payment. You have to still sit at your home as we bring the sheets to your sites and then we do the installation. And then when we talk about our materials, we have the Colourlink Plus, we have the Super. In fact, we have materials for every pocket, be it a higher income earner, a lower income earner, a middle income earner. Whatever your pocket is, we have roofing products for you. So you can either go in for the Colourlink Plus or the Super, which we give 5 years warranty for, and then the Colourlink Plus we give 20 years warranty for. So any of them is okay for any customer. And then looking at our finishing, that is what people talk about a lot. That is what people know us by. Our finishing, we are the only company that actually does the roofing and then add every roofing accessory you would need at a very affordable price. It's still very cheap when you compare it to other places. We actually give you the roofing sheet and the accessories at a very cool price. You can compare it anywhere and you'd realize that our price is very affordable. You see, we have various packages that we have put in place for every kind of customer that we handle. We have packages for the institutions, churches, various packages that we have put in place for them. So When you come here, we'll sit you down, we'll speak to you concerning all those packages that we have put in place, and it's very, very friendly. For Habitat Fair, what I can say is that it has been very refreshing. The turnout has been very good. We've had various customers come in through Habitat Fair, and then we always want to be a part of it. It's been great. So far, so good.
So what are your expectations?
We are expecting a great turnout as usual. We are expecting that people will come to our stand and come and ask about our products to buy. We want to convert actually sales so that we'll know that we have benefited at the end of the day. Okay, so with that, I think I'll tackle on the import duties and then the taxes. Normally, if taxes are reduced a little for we, the local manufacturers, to operate smoothly, I think that is going to help us to cover up every deficit that we have in the country. We need more hand, and then we need more machines. The customers should know that we are the best in the country. From all that I have said so far, we are giving everybody the best of products, and then we make sure that you get value for money. Our processes are also very easy. And then I also like to talk about where you can locate us. You can locate us at Accra, next to Papaye, at Takrade, Kojokrom, at Kumasi, Akwemu, or Dakodrum. And then you can locate us at Tamale, and then Sunyani, opposite the STC yard. Tamale too, we are close to, I think, the BWD yard.
One of its customers, Not for Growth in the Northern Region, for its role in the empowerment of women in the region. The company is working with over 77,000 rural women who are into share picking and dry season gardening. Dora Habo Sute Towise was presented with a plaque.
Nut for Growth are processors of shea nuts and soya beans. The company employs several women across the area, creating jobs. Some staff of Stanbic Bank, led by the manager in charge of the Northern Cluster, were at the premises of Nut for Growth to do the CEO the honors.
Stanbic Bank Ghana, you have exhibited true partnership, and for this reason, we remain grateful. So I'll give it to Nabil to present on behalf of management and staff of Stanbic.
Presenting the award, manager in charge of the Northern Cluster, Alhaji Nabil Hussein, said they were honored to partner Nut for Growth in their transformation of women in the area.
It's something that builds on social contracts, empowering the most vulnerable sector of our society. I mean, women who are empowered to be themselves, to be able to be the breadwinners and be the change makers in their lives, and determine the aspirations of their families and everyone that they cherish. We can't say enough but to say that we are most proud to be and honored to partner with you in this journey. And this is far from over. I think, as Osman has said over and over again, wherever we can project this business that you are into, I think it is something, a venture for mankind. Madam
Dora said Stanbic Bank was supporting in her cause of touching lives of vulnerable women.
They are not only financing the project, they are also supporting us to be able to buy more from the women. As much as we can buy, they are ready to support it.
The team also made a stop at the Ghana Senior High School, where they donated science equipment to the school. Headmistress of Ghana's Ajia Amina Musa urged the students to make Stanbic Bank proud by passing their exams.
Go a long way. Now the ball is in your court. They have brought these things. What are you going to do with them? It is your turn to show Stanbic Bank that yes, we got the things and we are going to use it very well. How do you use it? Or how do you tell them that you have used it very well? By passing the exams. Use the equipment you have been given. Use it and use it well. Pass the exams very well. And then when they see the results, then they will know that whatever they have come to donate was not in vain.
Manager of Communications at the Stanbic Bank, Kojo Labi, said the presentation was to offer the students same opportunity as their seniors.
So that many of our colleagues who pass through the halls of this school will help to ensure that what they have done, the crop of students that we have today would also get through the same mission and ensure that the effort that the parents have put in to bring them to school will be realized. But these things cannot happen without equipment.
The head teacher of Hilalia 2 Islamic Primary School, Mohammed Alidu, thanks Stanbic Bank for donating furniture to the school. He said before COVID-19, the students laid on their bellies to write.
Gone are the days just before the corona stepped into the nation. You could come here and see children lying flat on their stomachs like snakes, writing, and we are quite aware that no matter the effort teachers will put in place, without this infrastructure in place, handwriting will never be good. And today, Stanbic is extending the helping hand to the school, supplying us with furniture to enhance teaching and learning.
And thank you to Stanbic Bank. That'll be all for Business Alive for this evening. I'm Joy. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good evening.